Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? I'm just like trying to remember how everything was working. I'm like trying to have like a separate chat window so I can see what you guys have to say. But like, yeah, super happy. Like it took me like, it was a nightmare as usual to set up all the cameras, the microphone, the sound and everything. So if you guys see anything wrong, like if the sound is not okay, if there is some delay or whatever, like just let me know. We're still setting up. Like what the flow is trying to help me right now in the chat. We just had like internet crash like 15 minutes before to start the stream. Like the whole internet of the office went down. And it's like the first time, like I moved to this office a year ago, but like the room I am in right now, I have it since like the beginning of the year. That's why it's still like an empty white wall. And like even like my DJ setup still don't have the exact desk it's supposed to have. So we are still setting up a lot of stuff, but it was like doing a Twitch live stream was on the target since a long time. And by like, we always mid-February, I was like, let's go, let's just do it now. Who cares? Like even the logos and like the whole setup is still the old one from 2020. But yeah, we'll update that later. Using the chat, I can see when you guys use the chat for the first time. So welcome on Twitch, if it's your first time on Twitch now. And MHP aussi. Ah, les Français, les rules, exactly. How are you doing, bro? Welcome on Twitch. So if it's your first time here, I did a lot of live stream during the pandemic, a lot of masterclass. We did some amazing 3D. With some custom 3D stages stuff, and we had a lot of fun. And like when the industry restarted again, I had less time and I was more focused on the company. We hired a lot of people. We trained a lot of new VJs, new light operator, and yeah, like after 3 years, very focused on like all the gigs we did. I wanted to come back a little bit, like talking about my work, doing a bit of social media stuff. Like my Instagram is doing very well lately. I'm super happy with that. Like you guys give me an amazing like response all the time. But yeah, I wanted to go a bit deeper into like what's my work exactly and how I work. So like we just do a quick, today is just like a cool live stream just to talk about it. But like if this is working fine and you guys enjoy it, we will start with some masterclass, I think next week, maybe if I have some time, so that we can go a bit deeper into like the software I use, the way I play, and so I can answer like a lot of questions because I get so many Instagram questions like in the comments and stuff. It's pretty hard, and I'm spending a huge amount of time like answering one by one. Hey, I'm using a MIDI Fighter 3D. Hey, I'm using a MIDI Fighter 3D. And then like the other thing is like, yeah, no, it's not time coded. It's not time coded. I am pushing a button. Something happened. It's not time coded. So yeah, a lot of things like that. And I'm really looking forward. Like, is Twitch still a good platform for do that, or should I just record a YouTube video? So like I may maybe try to do like some YouTube content too, just to see like what you guys enjoy the most. So feel free to give any feedback or anything, like if you guys enjoy taking this time. Also, I know timing is a good thing because so many people from all around the world follow what I do. So like I have a lot of people from India, from South America, and like the Paris time is not always the best. So I can stream at another time if it's good for people. Like I can stream like early in the morning or in the afternoon. Like the 8 p.m. Paris time is not usually like like I'm not stick to that because I have other things to do during the day. Like I can easily stream during the day, or like try to do some different type of streaming depending on the timing. So France Travail demande ta boîte fait quel type de prestat? Que de la prog ou du design et de la production. Donc nous, on est Visionz. Je peux la faire en anglais, France Travail. So Travail is asking like what type of production exactly does the company. We are Visionz. We are a French audiovisual company. We celebrated 10 years this year. It's quite amazing to think that like when we started this 10 years ago, we had no idea what we were doing, and I really didn't have any goal whatsoever. I just launched it first as a label, and we had the website, and we were sharing tips, tutorials, and visuals on the website. And the main goal with Visionz was to bring some more people together, because before Visionz I had a Zyper visuals website. I don't know if some guys knew this one. And we would just try to bring people together, connect, and have one place on the internet where we can share some stuff. So we started Visionz 10 years ago, and then we made it evolve as a company, a legal company in France. And nowadays, I just had a lot of meetings again today for work. And I think we're the only one professional VJ company in France. I think we're the only company where you can call in like, hey, I need a VJ for whatever event and whatever time or days. And we just answer you. So I'm pretty proud about that. And I'm pretty happy that because VJing is a big part of what we do. And then, nowadays we do VJing, we do light operating, we do all the programming and stuff. So people can ask us to do some timecode show. It's not what we do. I won't say we are not good at it or whatever, but a lot of time people call us for light design, light operating. And they know that we can do it live, that it will be less expensive, more flexible, and that it will look much better than if we spend 10 days, a month time coding stuff that is super expensive and that doesn't look that great once we are live. So we do this. Then we do a lot of we do more and more stage design because the company who hire us as light and VJ then come out, can you do the overall design? And one big part of Vision is the motion design. We do a lot of visual content. So most of the content you can see on events we play, a lot of time we did it ourselves with the team. And we are I think based at the office, we are around it's moving all the time depending on how much work is to do or not. We are 5-7 people that work full time at Visionz. And then we have around 20-25 freelancers working with us. And I can say this because it's people who work with us pretty much every weekend or every month. We are pretty much the only one company who hired them as VJs. Light operating, they used to move a little bit more, but a lot of guys, once they start working with us, the way we do it, as it's quite unique. We're pretty much the only one company that are working with us in this way. So France Travail. Don't know if this answers your question. But that's basically Visionz, what we do nowadays. And we are very excited and very open to a lot of different collaboration. So we work on a lot of different projects where most of the projects we never really talk about because, we don't promote ourselves a lot. We don't do a lot of marketing. I think it must be 2 years that we didn't put anything on the Visionz Instagram. And we had a lot of talks inside the company, why we should do story or repo or something. It's for what, no? So there's a lot of hidden stuff in Visionz, but we are very, very busy. We work a lot, and we have I think at the end of the year when we look back, it's about 4 or 5 gigs a day. For sure, it's not every day that because some weekends some Saturdays we're 20 people working. But when you bring it back and look at the entire year, it's about almost 2,000 gigs a year. It's pretty busy. Didi, du 12. Maybe take some clip from Twitch and upload it to YouTube, a little best of little masterclass short version, and then share the link of the long version in the description of the video. Yeah, I'm really disappointed with myself that all the Twitch session we did back in the days, we never recorded it. And even myself, I'm used to keep a video recording of everything I do. But that is those Twitch recording, I don't have it. So I know that there's 1 or 2 clips that people did. I have no idea how they did that. But we don't keep them. So I will try all those new recording, all those new sessions we're gonna do. I will record them and I will keep them for sure. So I know that normally Twitch just give me the option to do a download button or something. So at the end I can download it and maybe I will upload it to YouTube or not. If I have time to do some clips and upload shorts and reels and stuff like that, we'll see depending on the content. I really want to keep this live. So I know it's not going to be as perfect as a YouTube recording because when I record my tutorials, it takes me 1 day to record a 30-minute tutorial because I do retakes, I train myself. Most of the time I record 2 times the tutorial because the second time I'm always more fluent and more precise in what I do. So yeah, and I know that I will never be able to do that on Twitch. And in the same time, I don't want those Twitch sessions to be like just me talking for an hour and people just watching at it. I want it to be like interactive so we guys can talk together. I try to talk as much as possible on Instagram. I try to respond to all the comments and all your questions, even if most of the time it's the same thing coming again and again. But yeah, it takes some time, and I'm a pretty busy person. So I'm not able to answer all the questions all the time. Not a question. What no worry. Hi everybody. I'm talking like how many people are here? I was expecting to go live at 8 and have like literally me and What the Flow like beta testing this Twitch thing for an hour. But like, it's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Fee is asking, what time did me and What the Flow started working in nightclubs and having professional opportunities? I decided at 14 years old that my life is going to be dedicated to electronic music and to DJing. And I think like, I don't know if you have some light operators, some VJ or some people like that. Like, I think we all started with the love of music and the love of DJ, well, especially all those guys who work in electronic music. I know a lot of guys are passionate about lights and they start in theater and like operas and stuff like that. I don't have that passion at all. And a lot of guys that I met on festivals during the summer, like they try to talk about lights with me, and I'm really sorry. I just don't give a fuck because it doesn't talk to me. Like, I'm not passionate by lights. I'm not passionate by technology or whatever. I think I have some passion for technology, but not like, I'm not interested into talking for hours because that fixture has this type of color panel. So I don't care. I like the crowd. I like the energy, and I like the music, and that's my main focus in the work I do. That's also why it's super easy for me to move from light operating to laser operating to VJing to whatever, because what's my main interest and my main passion, is the final result of all us working together. So yes, 14 years old, and then with 17 I started working in nightclubs, which is illegal. Because in France, you're not allowed to work before 18. But yeah, when you are 17, working in a nightclub, you just don't say too much like about your job. And like back in the days, everything was less controlled. There were no LinkedIn where you just go on LinkedIn and you know how old everybody is and whatever. You had to show papers, and most of the time they didn't really ask. You just had to sign a paper, like a contract. And like a lot of time, like it was just, especially in nightclubs, it was just bar money. So you just showed up, you did the job, you get like some bar money at the end of the night. And like, in your 70s, if you're lucky, after 2 or 3 months, you turn 18, and then like you can sign a contract and it's okay. For me, it was my professional career started a little bit different. So I really started as a DJ, and I did a school was like for animation entertainer. In French, it's animateur musical et scénique, and in English, it would be musical and scenic entertainment. So like I really was trained to entertain people with music, with lights, and with visuals. And that's still what I do today, and what I love to do the most is like just entertain people, which could be called as DJ, because a musical entertainer nowadays is a DJ or like an MC. Like I had a lot of at school, we spent a lot of time learning how to talk. So I started like this, and I've did a very, very good school results, and so the school had a partnership with Martin, who is like one of the was back in the days and still is today one of the biggest light fixture manufacturer. And Martin had the partnership with a super big nightclub in Paris. And when this nightclub bought like for like $500,000 Martin equipment, they told Martin like, hey, don't you have like a lighting operator that could operate all this new material in a better way? And they bought the first LED panel. Martin was doing LED panel back in the days because it was so special. And so Martin called the school, and the school said, yeah, we have this guy for Zyper, and he's like super nerdy and super good, like he will do the job perfectly. And school called me like, hey, you're gonna DJ in this big nightclub in Paris. And I was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. No? And I arrived there and I just say yes to everything. And they told me like, and suddenly I was behind the lighting desk and I had no idea how a lighting desk is working. It was Max's lighting desk back in the days from MPC, from Martin. And my first night I was working with Armin van Buuren. So I was on the light with Armin van Buuren. I had no idea what I was doing here or whatsoever. And I learned how DMX is working and how the lighting desk is working, everything like super quickly. And in about like 3 months, I signed a full-time contract with them, and I spent doing for 3 years, 5 nights a week, lights in this club. And pretty quickly, I bring in a Resolume Arena to control all the LED screen and panel. And then started the issue that we didn't have any visual content. So I started to learn After Effects and Cinema 4D to create my own visual content. And as I was excited to have it, I shared it for free on zypervisuals.com. And after like 3 years, I opened Visionz because some other people get in touch with me, were interested about how it works. And then we started building up a bigger team together. And What the Flow, he joined me when he was 19. He was super young, because when I arrived in Paris, I was already 21. I was spending 3 years doing entertainment as like weddings and birthday parties, and then I spent 1 year as a DJ in a bar where I was playing like 4 nights a week, and I was like fully into nightlife. And had a real knowledge about like how a club is working, how the lights are working, and all this kind of stuff. So like I started doing light operating with 21. And What the Flow, he was like super young. He was like 18 or 19, I think, when he moved to Paris to join me. And we worked together in the same company because they had like several clubs with some amazing equipment. So we were pretty lucky on that. But like nowadays, if you want to start, I think that there's 2 ways. The first way is like I did, going to a nightclub, but I know that the nightclub business is not at its peak actually. So I don't know if close to where you are in the world, you have a nightclub with some good equipment and who is interested into having a junior doing some lights. You can try in some bars, you can try in some restaurants. Some restaurants now have some solid lighting system too. And if not, like get in touch with any tech company, rental company that is renting lighting desk and lighting fixtures and stuff like that. And the whole industry is like missing a lot of people. And like the whole industry is super interested into having young people. You're gonna not operate the lights like you can see on my Instagram video, but for sure they're gonna have a job for you. You're gonna start from here, and then it's like building up slowly. Now, I started as just a lighting guy in a nightclub, and then I did some video more, and then I started doing visuals. And when I moved out of the nightclub scene, I went back to rental companies and I started just like pushing cleaning the fixture and like installing them. And then from there, like when there was an opportunity, they hired me as a light operator. So I was able to operate on the Grand MA. And so I learned the Grand MA this way. And then I bring back like the technical knowledge with the clubbing knowledge I had and the contacts, and that helped me to build up the whole career in the business. Does that answer your question? Let me read what else do you have for me? Do I prefer Timecode, even with touring with Vladimir Koshma? Vladimir Koshma is not a Timecode, guys. Like what you see on Instagram, like my whole Instagram, what you will see in the whole videos, the YouTube and everything, it's no Timecode. It's just me pushing the right button at the right time and training and learning to do it again and again. So I am a light operator, so I operate. Why will they prefer the desk to operate alone, the system to operate alone? And why do I want to record everything in advance and come to a venue I don't know, playing for people I don't know with fixture that change every day, and trusting what I recorded in the desk? Like what I will do live will always look better. It will look less precise. It will look less perfect because it's depending, but it will always look better live in the venue. For sure, when you look the recording after it and you're sitting in front, like you're sitting in front of your phone or your television or whatever, and you look at it, you have more time to analyze the music, the lights, what's happening, and you can see that there's a lot of mistakes. But when you are live in the venue, it will always look better when it's not time-coded, because it looks too perfect. It has less impact, and I can do things live in the venue with the fixture that a pre-recording on a 3D cannot anticipate. And that's why I think most of the time doing it live looks better. But you have to bring your best performance out. Like, I know a lot of time I suck, a lot of time like what I do is not exactly what I expect to do. And I have a lot of surprises, and I have a lot of shows where I just come out and I'm disappointed because I was thinking it's gonna look like this, and it didn't. And I spent 1 hour trying to fix and understand, like, why is it not looking exactly like the thing I expected? So yeah, for me, it's going to be live, and like the whole Vladimir Koshba is fully live. Nothing is time coded. Even the intro, what the flow is launching the intro with his fingers, and he has some cue points if he missed like one entry point where he put the video. So yeah, no time code for me. We have Salazar for the first time here. Hey man, welcome on Twitch. What do versus nervous jobs because they are too big for someone, in case me? Man, I guess you're not English talking, but if you can just rewrite this message, because I don't understand at all what's the question. France Travail says, j'ai vu que I see that you do time code. I saw your show file. Right. What did you say exactement? J'ai vu que c'est pas du time code. On voit ton show file live que t'as dû mettre des... Ah oui. Yes, yeah, no, for sure. Like the show file, like I spend a lot of time doing my show file. Like the time you can put into time code, I spend like double the time into my show file trying to optimize it so it looks the best. What does Wonderflow say? Like, you started at 15. Yeah, for sure, man. No? You started very young. I remember that. And you're still a young and fresh man compared to me. I'm an old guy. 3 years since 18 different clubs, Onyx and Grand MA. Yeah, like, well, when you try to go to a rental company, you need to understand that the business of the rental company is not the same business as a nightclub. The rental company doesn't give a shit about how good you are as a light operator. The rental company is making his money on the hardware they are putting out and they are renting. So most of the time they don't care a lot about the people. They just care about the hardware. But if you treat the hardware well, if you help them to sell more hardware and you treat it well and you make the clients happy so they come back to this rental company, then they make you work, and you have to take the opportunity that when there is some cool jobs to do, then you can play. And most of the time you're lucky, because when these opportunities come, nobody gives a shit once it's playing. What is important is, like, is the build-up working fine? What happened after the party? Like, how is the material coming back to the warehouse? But like, if you manage those two things nice, then you can play, and most of the time, like, they let you play the way you want. So like, I got a lot of opportunities by working with rental companies and helping them to manage well the business they have, and then they just like let me play all night long. So in the beginning, I did a lot of that. You have so Salazar says you have your biggest show of your career this week, man. I have the biggest show of my career every weekend. Like, I'm doing this for 15 years, and I'm still nervous and stressed every weekend. So yeah, man. I mean, at some point it's gonna happen. The one thing I tell people all the time is, like, don't try to over prepare it. Don't forget that it's not only about technical knowledge. It's not only about show file preparation. It's a lot about what's happening in your head. You sleep well, eat well, do things you like, do things that relax you. And so when you arrive on the gig and you're like full of stress with everything that's going on, at least you try to bring the stress level as down as possible. When I have a big show, like a very big show, what I try to do is do something that relaxes me, something funny, something that I like the day before or just a couple of hours before the show. And it's not like nerding all night long on my computer. Like every time, and Wonderflow knows that perfectly, like every start of the summer season, when the big festivals come, when you do the first show of the touring, I am like super nerdy, like doing macros and preparing the show file and trying to fix the show file so it's at the best. And all those shows go fucking wrong because I'm too nervous, I'm too stressed, I miss a lot of things, and I'm just focused on like the technical part of how it's working. When all the recordings we do and what mostly you see on Instagram are the shows that come later in the season, where I don't touch the show file anymore and I can relax and come and play. And then I'm focused 100% on what I play. I have a good stress management. I have like my mind who is like really good in sync with my body, so that my gesture, so that the buttons are pushed exactly at the right time and I do everything well the way it's done. And I still have stress before every show, but I try to use the stress to help me concentrate better instead of like losing everything. I see a lot of kids, young operators, where I try to give them opportunities and they just die out of stress. And when it's time for them to shine, they just do nothing because they are so overstressed and they didn't sleep for like a week and stuff like that. I'm just like, you know how to do the job. If I trust you to do this gig, it's that you know how to do it. So just focus on doing the gig and don't focus on your stress. So no worries, Salazar, it's gonna happen. You're gonna do a great job. You're gonna probably fuck off a lot of things, but like even myself, like I fuck a lot of jobs. So no worry. Hi, Nivo Avegi. New on Twitch, welcome man, thank you so much. It's so cool, guys, to see that you send your first message on Twitch on one of my small live stream. Super happy to be able to make you come here. I would love to understand what's your thought process behind the creation of the Vladimir tour. Could you streamline your workflow with the team and the artists? So yeah, what I was talking a bit earlier, like I have a lot of ideas of content and stuff I want to share. I'm trying a lot of different socials and platforms lately. So I know Instagram is great. I know pretty much what you guys like to see on Instagram, like the 360, me pushing the buttons and everything. But like Instagram is super poor to connect with a lot of people at the same time. So I try to answer all the comments. It's super hard because like on some videos, I have like 1,000, 2,000 comments and everybody asks the same question. So it's way more easier for me to do like one content that ends with those questions, but Instagram is not the right place for that. I hope that you guys enjoy Twitch. I don't know how many people we are right now. And I'm just trying back the platform. Like I used it a lot like 4 or 5 years ago. And yeah, the thing is, I'm trying to see which platform is the best, which platform fits to which type of content, what you guys are interested in. But yeah, for sure, there's a lot of stuff I want to share, like the show files, the way I work, the way I prepare, the whole lifestyle, the business side. If you want to talk about business, like the whole way we run Visionz. I have a real manager work now, as I manage people, I manage contracts, I manage clients, I deal with money. So there's much more than just me pushing buttons and the fire comes out, right? But yeah, I need to talk with the artist. But the cool thing now, we never wanted to share too much about the anthropology tour because we wanted to keep it a surprise for the people who come to see the show. Now the show is officially done. We are working on a new one. So I just need to approve with everybody, but I think that we can start to talk more in depth, like how we build up the show and what we've done exactly. Like I think there's no real recording of the show anywhere on the internet. We for sure have some, and I would love like to do a run through the whole show and explain you like what we are doing, how we are doing it, and so it can help you people to get inspired about what we do, and I'm sure you will have some very amazing feedback that can help me to build up a better show for the new tour that is coming. Federico, where are you guys coming from actually? Like, is there a lot of French people? I never know. I'm always talking in English, but like even in German, like I'm a pretty good German talker too. So sometimes I meet people, we talk in English and then suddenly we just switch to German because it's working. I'm Belgian. It's a little big country and everyone knows everybody. It never works, so I think if I go run business, I think we never touch a cancer. I go business like maybe different in France. I don't think that like the thing is, look at the Netherlands. Netherlands is a pretty small country too, but it's so dense. There's so much thing going on, And I think Belgium is the same. The thing is, like, you have to fix yourself a target. And for sure, I know you guys want to be in one of those huge, big festival. Like some people told me my dream is to control the Tomorrowland main stage. For sure. And I did it, so why couldn't you do it? What people don't realize a lot of time is that it took me almost 10 years of work before I did my first big festival, and I didn't choose which festival it is. It stays a business, so it's the client who calls you to give you an opportunity, and you have to take this opportunity, and you build up step by step, slowly by slowly. I started doing weddings and birthday parties because nobody else wanted to do it. And I always moved where there was space to work and space to express myself. So I explained a bit earlier. I don't know if you guys were here. If not, I can just restart. But I moved to lights operating, not by choice. I moved to light operating because people call me and ask me like, hey, can you operate lights? Because the way you entertain people with music and what you do and the technical knowledge you have, I'm sure if you do some lights, something cool will come out. And that's how I moved to the lighting world and light operating. And like the thing is, I was a DJ operating some weddings and birthday parties in a smaller part of France. And I got job opportunity as a light operator in a big nightclub in Paris, where they hired like big EDM DJs every weekend. I just took it. That's so easy. And I took a job that nobody wanted to do. The guy before me was leaving because everybody back in the days wanted to be a DJ. So, and the thing, like, why does it work for me? I think it's because everything I do, I try to maximize, and I try to do it as best as possible. So I didn't just come in the club and take the job and take the money. I try to think the job the best way possible, and I try to master the job the best way possible. And when we had LED Screen, I tried a lot of different tools, and I chose Resolume because it was the best tool that worked for me. And then I did visuals because the visuals I had weren't good enough. Well, most of the VJ nowadays, they just tell you like, yeah, my VJing is not good because my visuals are bad. Then just try to find better ones or do them yourself if you cannot find it. But yeah, that's it's a mindset you need to have in this industry. And like even in Belgium, I'm sure, man, that you can master it and you can bring yourself out of all the light operators out in Belgium. It's just like you need to start small and go and do it step by step. Who else is there? I'm lost in my chat. Could you have Patreon with your show file and things? I think about Patreon for sharing show files, but like I'm not super. I don't want to share my show files because it's pretty private and it's something very personal. And in the same time, also my business is to play live. My business is not to train people, and that's another type of business. I could do it, and I have some opportunities sometimes to I'm paid for teaching and training people, but I don't want this to be my main focus. And so it's the same. Like I don't want to be a show file creator professional. Like my show file is my show file. What I'm interested with you is to share you the way I think and the way I work. But I don't want to give you just my show file, because giving you my show file will not help you to do the job the right way. Like I met a lot of people on every show, and all the light technicians always ask me like, "Hey, can I extract your show file from the desk?" And I say, take it. I keep it in the show file. I'm not the guy who delete my show file because I don't want people to see what's in. Like, just take it, but you won't do any shit with it because you will not understand the way it's supposed to work. And that's coming out of my brain. And I build up the whole thing. Yeah, like, what you're gonna do? You're gonna open every single macro and right click and read everything I did and try to understand why I did it like this? No, you will just open, have a quick look, and close it again and never use it. So I don't think that sharing show file is something useful for you guys. What will be useful is we're gonna do it like we did it back in the days. We're gonna do some masterclass on Twitch, and masterclass on Twitch and some YouTube video recording. So I don't know for now if I'm gonna use the content from Twitch to just put it on YouTube or Instagram, or if I'm gonna really retake and rework some real good and efficient YouTube tutorials. I'm gonna test it and see what you guys like and what the algorithm tells me, because I don't want to spend time doing content for nobody. So yeah. Man, where do you find those questions? I don't see them in the chat. Do you choose color palette with the VJ in advanced or pre-production? Like most of the time, it's like live. And like when Waterflow and I, we play together, we know each other so well that like when I go red, he follows me. And a lot of time, I don't have any idea about when we play like really live, when we do like clubbing content. Okay, when we play really live, we have no idea about what the DJ is going to play. So I just try to guess, and we play the guess thing. And like when we are a light operator and a VJ, it's guessing with two brains. So you need a really special connection. And I think that's why me and What the Flow, we worked together since so long. And that's where the magics happen. So we try to guess, and then you try to guess like what vibe, because for me, a color is a vibe. It's an energy. So I'm always like, okay, which energy and which vibe do I gonna create for this track? Most of the time, I'm not lucky. I don't know the track, so I'm just like trying to guess. This feels like this. I hope the DJ wants to go into this type of vibe. Let's go for this. And then my VJ, mostly What the Flow, he feels something different, so he goes in a different vibe. And then I look at the screen and I say, oh man, he's going this vibe with the visuals. I'm gonna follow him. So I adapt to the VJ, and he, as he's VJing, he's looking at my lights and he's like, oh, he's going this vibe. So for example, like I go red, I want something warm, I want something dark, and he goes like cyan, like blue-green a little bit, like something very cold, but like less dark. And I see him, and I'm gonna adapt to him, and he sees me, and he's adapting to me, and then we're just switching. So I go to this blue, and he makes the screen red, and then like we're going back. So because he's coming back. So, and a lot of time it's just a fucking mess, and we're just trying to adapt one to each other. And at the same time, we're listening to the music, and we're trying to anticipate everything that's gonna happen. And I'm sure What the Flow, you will feel exactly this, because that's what's happening most of the time. Like when we play live, when we play in the nightclub, it's like pure anticipation. You never know what's gonna happen. And in the same time, that's where the magic happens, because you have no real control and real idea about the crowd, about the venue, about how's the vibe tonight, how's the DJ playing tonight. And so when I do VJ, I have like special visuals, and I know exactly they fit with this type of vibe. When I play for like a headliner, like when I know, like for example, we did a big show last year with Kevin DeVries. Okay, I go on Spotify, I check Kevin DeVries. I was VJing. It was one of my biggest VJ gigs last year. And I check like Kevin DeVries. Okay, I check all the latest live sets. Okay, he's playing this track, this is playing a lot, this is an exclusive. And so I prepare in advance the visuals that are gonna fit with which type of music. But I don't know if he's gonna play it. I don't know how he's gonna play it. And there's a real difference for me, like if he's opening with a track, or is this like playing it after 1.5 hours of DJ set. So it's not the same vibe, even if it's the same track. So yeah, it's like pure live and pure anticipation, and we just try. And sometimes it works, sometimes not. Sometimes it's just meh, and sometimes it's just like magical and amazing. So you don't really know about that. And yeah, I see like people telling me that I can use show control, so I can see the tracks that are coming in. But the thing is, like when you look at me playing, I'm not looking at my lighting desk. I'm not looking at my computer. I push my computer on the side. I look what's happening live. So the first thing I want to see is like, what is my VJ doing when I do lights? And when I'm doing VJing, I want to see my screen. I want to see the DJ, and I want to see the lights. So I don't have any attention in my mind, any space to check what's going on the fucking show control thing. And then the other thing is like, I don't need to know if this is a break and if like the track is gonna restart in like 32 times or whatever. I know and I can feel it. Like all the EDM, all the electronic music is built the same way. So with training, you get that. It's like a clock that you have inside of yourself. And you know, it's like they say, like the people who playing piano and stuff like that, they can hear, like when they hear a sound, they know exactly which note it is. Like I can really feel and hear and listen. When I listen to an electronic music track, I know pretty easily the structure you're gonna have. So I don't need to see the structure. And I don't need to know the tracks because, like, as I told you earlier, like, a DJ can play a track. If he plays it in the beginning or at the end, I don't gonna interpret it with light and visual the same way. So yeah, like a lot of time people ask us if we want like show control, but even when we have it, we never look at it. Okay, so this is when we play live for nightclubs and stuff like that. When we prepare a show like the Vladimir Koshma Anthropology Tour, then we bring the whole team and the whole package that we bring to festival, the lasers and everything together. We rent a room for a week and we sit down and we try to build up the best show possible. So people always have this thing about, is it time coded, not time coded? Like, but it's not the point. The point is like what we prepared and what it's going to look like. And so we have a lot of talking. We spend a lot of time together because with experience, we pretty much know, okay, this effect looks great. It's going to look great in this type of condition, and it's going to look bad in this type of condition. I'm going to give you a very easy example, lasers. Laser looks amazing when you have haze and when there's a lot of humidity. When you have wind, you have no more haze, you have no humidity, your laser looks like nothing. You cannot see them. So we wanted to build the Vladimir Koshma show with a lot of lasers, but we know we play outside a lot of time, and we pretty much know if the wind condition of those places we play, and we know the humidity. Like when we play in a mountain in the forest, most of the time it looks better than when we play like on the strand or something like that. So we prepare the show and we design the show knowing pretty much where we're gonna play and what's gonna work fine or not. And especially like for Vladimir, we didn't want to bring only lasers. And we always have this thing like, okay, if the laser looks great this night, we shut down the video screen, we shut down all the lights, and we keep just the lasers on this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, okay? And those laser parts are prepared. So I have a cue list, and I send exactly the stuff I want. But if we see at the first laser moment that the laser look like shit, I know that what the flow is, he's the VJ, he has a visual ready. So if I turn on the laser and we don't have the wow effect, like the next thing happening in the music, we have the LED screen going on with one dedicated visual. And so we keep it live to adapt. And I think that one of the key of the Vladimir Koshma Anthropology show is that we try and we gave us the tools to make the best show possible every night, whatever the conditions are. So that's why sometimes we have amazing laser, we do an amazing laser show. Sometimes like it's the fire looks amazing, so we put 10 times more fire. Like, and we adapt all the time. Sometimes I have like a huge LED screen, so I do way less with the lights. Sometimes I have what the flow coming to me and tell me, hey man, today my LED screen is like, it's shit. So like do your thing, nah? Try to do something because my LED screen looks shit. And when we play, suddenly he sees like, oh man, like finally this visual looks cool. Now let's do this more, nah? And I turn off the light. So we adapt a lot of time. But yeah, the whole show is prepared. We know each track, which color we're gonna play. We know each track when we are supposed to have lasers, when you are supposed to have cameras effect. He's moving a lot on stage, so he knows pretty much when he's supposed to do what type of stuff. But then it's live. Sometimes he does, sometimes not. Sometimes visuals look good, sometimes not. Sometimes we do a lot of cameras, sometimes not. So it's still, we really try to play the best show possible. And the first key you need for that is like, give yourself as much flexibility as possible. A lot of people showed up. Hi guys, everybody. What the flow? What do you have for me? How many time of rehearsal did you get with Vladimir Koshma? It's like a career, man. It's a lot of working. So basically, we spent like 3 summer tours together. So now when we work, everything goes much faster. We know pretty much, we know the way we play. The thing that is changing is the visuals are changing, the music is changing, but the way we play is still the same. Rehearsal, we mostly have like 4 days. Like the setup is going more and more complex now. So most of the time when we have like 4 or 5 days of rehearsal, first day is build up. So I would say like what the flow, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like a good 4 days of build up. And like most of the time we have the music after like day 2 or day 3. So we have like 1 real day of full rehearsal, and rehearsal is like very, very demanding physically for everybody. So we play a real rehearsal like 3, maximum 4 times. And then the rehearsal goes on every festival. So like, I'm always sorry for the people who see the show for the first time, because it looks amazing. I'm not saying it's looking like shit, but like I already know everything that I want to make better. And like, I think the best shows come after like playing it live for like 3, 4, 5 times. Then we know what's working, what's not working. We also adapt the music a lot. And I have to prepare my show file. So I have like a basic template that goes like for pretty much every gig I do. But then like I do a dedicated show file just for Vladimir Koshma, because there's a lot of stuff I removed that I don't use. And yeah, 3-4 day programming, right? We have Aztec, we have Ava. Hi guys, how are you doing? Those guys need to come on my Twitch live stream because they want me to work with them. And I'm too busy doing Twitch live stream. I'm really sorry, guys. But like, we're gonna do an amazing show. Like, go follow them, like Aztec and Ava. Go follow them, because we're gonna work with them, and we're gonna make something that looks sick and amazing. You guys have no idea. What the flow? You have another question for me? What do you think about dating and AI? I think that AI is amazing and funny, man. There is a real thing, a real key in what make my career so successful since the beginning. And one of my big motivation, make things fun. It make things funny. VJing, like I started doing VJing because it's funny. I started doing lights because it's funny. I work in nightclubs. Like I work for people to entertain people. People come to see the shows we work on because they want to have fun. They want to have a good moment. So try yourself to put all the stress away and try to have fun when you work. Make it professional, make it serious, but make it funny. I sometimes do it too much fun. I know like some people don't like it, but like, yeah, that's a real key, guys. Like try to keep it funny all the time, whatever the situation, and really don't go the stress way. Don't stress yourself too much. People like always think about like people come to see your show. They have no fucking idea about what you have in your mind and what you prepared for them. They just see, and they only see, understand, and get what you're giving them live on the moment. So like, don't stress for years before. Like, just go, do your thing, try to do your best, and people will enjoy it. No worry. And if you miss, like nobody, like I miss so much shit, man. I don't know, when we work with What the Flow and Vladimir and everybody, I don't know how many times they come to me at the end of the show, like, hey man, you made this thing that was so cool. And I'm like, yeah, that was completely fucked up. I had no control and no idea about what I did. So there's a lot of thing about interpretation. Like, always remember that nobody knows what's supposed to happen. So you're still the master of that thing. What else do we have? What's the other question? How much you work with fixture presets? I have a very, very specific way of working where fixture preset, yes. The new system in MA3, I still didn't make it work, but I don't use a lot of effects. So like most of the time people, when I program, I have like very basic position, very basic colors, shutter on, but now shutter close, shutter open, strobe fast, one pan, one tilt, and that's it. And like when you look at my work, and I keep it super, super basic. And a lot of time, like all the tech lights who host me and try to help me during the setup, they're always amazed, like, man, like there's nothing in your show. Like, how do you play? And once we start playing and pushing the right button at the right time, everything comes together. But like that's the other thing with my show file. Like I can give you my show file, you won't do nothing with it because it's just like dimmer, shutter, close and open, and some colors, and that's it. Is your live show made of receipt? Yes, fully made of receipt. And I love Grand MA3 because of the receipts. I hate Grand MA2. I fucking hate this disgusting software. But like MA3, I really enjoy it. I like two things in MA3. I love the receipt, the fact that you can like finally do things faster and you don't need to redo every day the same shit. And I love the fact that you can personalize it. Like I'm a huge AI UI fan. So if a software doesn't look good, I don't like to use it. So Grand MA3, I can customize pretty much everything, and I really enjoy that. Like my show file is super heavy because I have so many appearances into it, and people are always amazed because like I remade all the color coding. So my Grand MA3 is dark and blue with the Visionz color, and most of the time like light operator even don't know that they can change like the gray and yellow stuff for the Grand MA. So now like it's a nice software. Still a lot of things that could be better. But like you need to understand also like the story of a software and understand that they made MA1 and they are building since MA1 and even before scan command and stuff like that. And so they're just building over that stuff. And when you come in at one point and have an overview of everything, you can for sure say like, I wouldn't do it like that. But like they are in a process of 30 years of working this way. So yeah. But that's the whole light industry. That's why I don't like it so much. Like nowadays, it's so stupid. Like you have to put a fucking DMX cable into every fucking fixture and go into the menu, put the let's just do everything by Cat5, have a huge network and tell in the network, everybody like you are this person, you are this person, this mode. Like why? But that's the way it's built. That's the way the industry is working. And I had the same chat today with a motion designer who was like applying for the Visionz Company, and I had this talk with her like, hey guy, After Effects nowadays is completely useless. There's so many tools that does the job so much better, but the whole industry is so used to After Effects that even myself, like I am so comfortable in After Effects. I do all my design in After Effects. I don't use Photoshop, Illustrator, stuff like that. I After Effects since 15, 20 years almost. And like I know it's a shitty software. I know there's better tools to work better, but like I'm still feeling confident and going so fast in After Effects that I know that with this tool, I can do it. For sure, there's some other tool, they are better, they work, but with this tool, I can do it. And the whole lighting industry is like that. Like, it's working like that. Why should we change, no? Function over form. I don't give a fuck what the UI looks like. It forced as it wants. Yeah, man, I'm so bad with this. Like for me, like if a software doesn't look good, I just don't want to use it. And we with What the Flow, we had this joke for years where he was using Audacity for audio stuff because it's free and you can install it pretty easily on any computer. And I never wanted to use that software because it's fucking ugly. Come on. Pour ton build de ton show file, tu receipts, tu fais les show files avec un patch générique, tu as une full prog et tu changes le patch à chaque gig. So yeah, the whole way of working in my MA3, I have one show file, and for sure I adapt it every gig, but like basically I have like one show file that is a template show file that I update and bring new functions and new macros into it all the time, and then I just like MVR in all the patch and 3D position. And I work from there. So yeah, that's I think the next big content we are gonna do is like, or we talk about how we play in Resolume, because it's a dead story. Like I know how I work and it's an amazing way to work and it works all the time. And I didn't update a lot my way of working in Resolume Arena since the last 4 or 5 years. But working in Grand MA is still evolving a lot. Like every weekend when we play with the team, we have some updates how we could do this way better and this way better. I just switched completely the whole way of doing my patch and grouping and stuff like in the beginning of January. And right now I'm still rewriting a lot of chaser and macros so that my chase can be more flexible and update faster. So yeah, since it doesn't answer this one, we use Beyond from Pegola. Sorry, man. Did you use ILDA or DMX for laser? We use DMX over ArtNet with the Pangolin Beyond. And I don't know many other software that, like, I think the whole industry, when you go to laser, you go with Pangolin Beyond, right? And yeah, we triggered with the lighting desk. What's cool on the MA3 is that most of the time I have an NDI feedback, so I can see the Pangolin window directly in my MA3, especially if I have a full size with the three ones. Hey, what else do we have? Tu penses quoi? Ah, you ping one. Tu penses quoi du show de la prod des concerts de Justice? Justice, guys, I don't know if you saw Justice. It's fucking amazing. That's it. Do you need to say anything more? It's fucking amazing. Like, if you guys don't know them, go check Justice live at Bercy. Like, it's fucking mind blowing. It's a masterclass. Most of the time I am not very impressed and very interested into light shows and stuff like that. I like a lot what they did with Climax back in the 2000s, but like Justice, that's something where when I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And I like it because there is a clear vision behind the way of working the light show. It's and you can see it, and I like that. And I'm like, when talking about with lights, I am always very impressed with, like, when I go to theaters and stuff like that, because it's very well unknown for me. I don't see that many shows, and you can see a clear vision about what they want to do with the lights. What I don't like, and what is way too common in our industry, the electronic music scene and stuff like that, VJing and light operating, like, most of the time people think, okay, it's a job where people have fun, so I'm gonna have fun too. So they go on drugs, they go on alcohol, they go on all this shit, and they just think that, okay, the music is random, so the lights and the visuals gonna be random. And most of the time you can see that it's just like one or two effects turning around and around the whole night, and the visuals are pretty much the same. So I'm not a lot, and I don't expect anything when I go out or when I go to a festival from the light show and the visuals, because it's just super random and generic. Didn't you say you have only one movement effect with Vladimir? Now I have one pan and one tilt effect, and then I have a lot of macros that come and update the grouping, the matrix, so the groups, the wings and stuff like that. But yeah, I only have two effects, but I'm gonna update them a lot due to what type of effects and movement I want to do. It's not the same movement moving on and on. The thing is, I have a real control on how big it is, on the form, and on a lot of different aspects, and I'm more interested into having live control on movements and effects instead of having like one effect and it's like that, and it's gonna be like that for all night long. Let's go. So yeah, and when I started doing light, one of my main focus was like, I want to go out of the circle, because like every nightclub everywhere in Paris, they all had the same fucking circle all night long, and I wanted to find a way to make this whole movement of lights be more organic. The other thing with festivals and bigger stages is that most of the time you don't see any movement. Je crois qu'il dit que t'as pas assez de light pour ton setup Twitch, bandolier, lui qui stream sous sa méthaline en slip. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna buy some new ones, but I like it because it's cozy. Right? It's a bit dark. Like my main focus was the sound with the microphone. So that's I'm pretty happy, because What the Flow told me that the sound is good, and if What the Flow tells you that the sound is good, that's a good thing. Lights, we will see. We're gonna have to hire some new one. But like anyway, like the one thing, guys, I didn't talk with What the Flow about it, but like we're gonna do some Twitch masterclass like we did, streaming, Grand MA, Resolume, all that stuff. We're gonna do some YouTube videos again, because I like to keep the content, and I'm still amazed, and I'm spending a lot of time looking the content I made on YouTube like 12, 13 years ago. And then we're gonna do some live streams again, where I'm gonna DJ and What the Flow gonna VJ, and we're gonna build some Unreal Engine 3D setups again. This is on our to-do list since livestream 10. We're gonna do livestream 11, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And I said it, you can clip that, and yes, we're gonna do it. Bravo pour les loupiottes, comment ça va, Scorch? La forme? Will you allow people to shadow you sometime? That will be awesome. What do you mean by shadow? What does that mean? Shadow me. You want to be my shadow? You want to lay on the floor? and be all dressed in black and be my shadow. What else do we have? You have, je connais pas trop MVR, c'est juste un patch avec des positions. So when you prepare on Grain MA3, you have two ways of importing a patch. You can PSR, so like partial show read, like in MA2, that you can do it in MA3 too. And then you can MVR, who is a My Virtual Rig, who basically is your patch, your fixture, and your 3D position. I prefer MVR because so I have the 3D position and I can do all my layout automatically based on the 3D. And also I can have a quick view in the MA3 3D viewer, and I don't need to open like a WYSIWYG and connect the WYSIWYG and all the shit that goes with it, because that makes me lose an hour for nothing. Shadowing is coming with you on a gig and watch you from behind the desk without bothering you. That doesn't exist, man. How do you spend 1 hour watching a guy and not bother him? Like, where's the fun? Man, where's the fun? We do this for fun. I like, you're gonna tell me I come with you in the booth and I'm gonna dance all night long, then it's okay, that we can do. But just watch me and not bother me, like, for what? We're supposed to have fun. You're gonna watch me push some buttons. Now, that doesn't work. The first thing is, like, most of the time is the travel issue. So I have a lot of juniors that work with me, and they always ask, like, hey, can we come with you? Like, yes, you can come, enjoy the show, for sure. And I will ask to put you on the list. But like, when we have some trains, some planes, some hotels and stuff, I cannot take even a junior from my team with me. So like, we do it a lot in clubs in Paris. And yeah, for sure. Like, you can always show up. But I don't like to have someone behind me just watching me dancing and pushing buttons. And I think it's useless. I think it's useless for everybody. Like, if you want to learn some tricks about how to do light, then we need to spend time talking or training or do things together. But just watching me work doesn't bring anything. I don't think so. Like, do you learn something when you watch a DJ doing his thing? It's just like pushing buttons and I'm not sure you learn a lot. You can, if you want to learn, if you want to really learn something, go on YouTube, look at the shows and try to analyze and understand what is going on. That can help you a lot. I can get the same stuff from Capture over CTP, patch 3D data, etc. Exactly. But I think even Capture, like normally WYSIWYG, Capture, everybody does MVR now. It's like the MVR is going to be the new standard. So if it's not in your system right now, it's going to be in the future for sure. Je suis encore sur Sunlight et je mixe son boîte. Bro, like we all started with Sunlight, and we are like the first time you touch Sunlight, you always feel that amazing. Like, I did my first lighting show in clubs doing with Sunlight. It was so cool. And What the Flow, like when I met What the Flow and we started working together, he was the Sunlight specialist for me. So when we had like requests on Sunlight, I was like, oh wait, I'm gonna ask What the Flow because he's the master at it. And then when we started learning other software and going a bit more deeper into it, then you realize that maybe Sunlight isn't that great. But now, depending on what you want to do, Sunlight is amazing. Living in a small city and decent venue, what's the barely minimum you will ask in terms of light and video support to not like a Metro Pro venue? How to look big and small equipment? I am so bad with that. I just take whatever I can have and I play. So sometimes I play. I was on tour with Fol Amour 2 years ago, and we did some very small venues. And like at some point, I was literally playing with 4 LED spots. They didn't move nothing. They were just like on, off, and RGB. And I played 6 hours with that, doing chase, doing effects, doing things. And my VJ had a video projection. And we played. We did the show. Sometimes I play like, I had a show like in the underground, in a parking. And we just put some Asteras, so the LED tubes over the crowd. And just one line, and I didn't even pixel map them or whatever. I just like played with some stuff, doing some blackout, turning them in different colors and stuff like that. So I just read the chat. What the Flow a supprimé le message de France? Did you really do that? So yeah, no, I don't think there's a minimum. Yeah, like it's really depending on what you want to do, what budget you have, and if you want something to look good or not. But over CTP, just easier, my platform of choice. Yeah, for sure. Did you use some glasses sometimes for not affect your vision, or it's necessary? Yes, I have glasses, and like my eyes are starting to hurt. because like the thing is, I know that if I stream with my glasses, I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot, right? Because you can basically see like the screen reflecting. So yeah, I have glasses. I use them for screens, especially my setup where I have a lot of screens around me. When I play during the night, for now, like I'm 33, so I'm not that old, but I start feeling pain sometimes. So I have ear protection. And sometimes like when I play all night long from like midnight to 6 a.m. in the morning, at 4 a.m. after the headliner, I feel sometimes like I put the glasses on and that helps my eyes to feel a little bit better. But nah, it's not a big thing. But yeah, like I think the screens that you look every day, your phone, your tablet, your laptop and stuff like that will be much more negative for your eyes than the lights that are strobing and flashing everywhere. Est-ce que vous avez facile pour débutants à me conseiller? Lasers are basic, pretty easy. The thing I like a lot with lasers is that you don't need like a super powerful laser to as an operator operate 100% of it. It's going to be much more about the software. So lasers, you don't need a very powerful laser or whatever. But yeah, it's like VJing, you know, when you VJ, you hope for sure how much bigger and brighter the screen is, how much more amazing it looks live, but it doesn't affect the way you work on Resolume. When the Grand MA, like depending on the patch you have, you're gonna really not work the same way. Resolume, like we work always the same and we just adapt the output. And lasers is the same. Like I send the same laser effect. Sometimes it's 5 watts, sometimes it's 20, sometimes I don't know. Like and so as I'm not much more passionate about technical stuff like that, most of the time I don't care. Like, oh, you have lasers? Can I control it? Let's go. I control it. I even don't ask what kind of laser it is or whatever. Du laser, tu en as pour 500, 600 euros, ça coûte cher. Ce qui coûte cher, oui, la licence, ça coûte cher. So they just saying that, yeah, they ask like for lasers, what's the entry price for lasers? And the main thing with lasers is the software. The software and the interface, the FB4 and FB3, I think it is, from Pangolin. Vous utilisez quoi comme soft si vous mettez un contrôleur MIDI sur les lasers? On utilise toujours Pangolin Ambient. We met one night at Eric Pritz Holosphere 2 at his brand new Ibiza venue. I am a lucky guy. I was allowed to play once in my life for Eric Pritz, and I played a show with this VJ and the visuals and everything. But it was not on the Holo production or Epic production or whatever. They have their own team. It's some English people. And yeah, we get in touch at some point, but they never gave an answer. And the industry, especially in Europe, you know, like English people work with English production, French people work with French production, and most of the time French artists work with French production. So everything stays very local. And for sure, when I was young and I was hungry and I wanted those big shows, I was against that. And nowadays I'm happy because my well-being is very important for me. And like, I am okay to play in Paris all my life. I don't care. Like the place where the show isn't anything for me right now. So like, I know a lot of people like my kids, the juniors I'm working with, when I tell them like, hey, I have a gig in another city, they are like, wow. When I tell them, hey, I have a gig in another country, they're like, oh my God, I want to take it. And they even don't ask what type of gig it is. What I'm interested in is like, is it going to be a good show or not? And if I cannot travel, I am happy. So like, I am super happy to work with Vladimir and Federer and all the French artists we're working with because they tour mainly in France. I don't have too much travel time and I can do a lot of shows and play a lot. Instead of like doing a big international artist where we're going to do amazing show, but I have to travel for 3 days all the time to play like a 60-minute show. Like I'm no more that excited and interested into this. Well, I'm really focused on my job and what I am doing more than where I am, with who I am, and the size of the production. But like I'm a 15-year guy in the industry, so like I had the same excitation than you. And like my first international gig, I was like, oh my God, I fucking did it after all these years. And yeah, but like right now for me, it's no more point at all. So we will probably not meet at Ibiza this summer because Ibiza is run by most of the time English people. And there's a lot of French guys there because the rental company is from France. But I don't work with those guys for now. So maybe this summer they're going to ask us to work with them. But for now, it's not done. And I don't see why they're going to do it. As an artist, I want to live my profession in France. To be obliged to fucking Dubai or Bali. I lived 6 months in Dubai, guys. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It's not fun to stay for 3 days. Yeah. With What the Flow, like I think last year, 2024, was really the year where after a lot of shows, we were like, all this travel just for this? Come on. And 2024, I was very excited by when I was allowed to play nightclub shows where I could play all night long. So like I'm really no more hyped that much. Like I am hyped by building up a show, a 60-minute one that looks good and is amazing. Play it like 5-10 times. But I'm no more hyped at all by like, oh, we're going to build up this show and play like 50 gigs a year and for like the next 3 years to come. I'm like, no, I'm out of this. I'm not interested. I want a lot of different things. I want a lot of different experience. I want not only electronic music. I not only want nightclubs, not only festivals. Like I am happy if like in my week, I work 7 days and 7 days on different things each day. Then I'm happy. Whatever it is it a wedding? Is it a festival? Is it like a theater? Is it just like a programming day or whatever? Like, I'm happy to do a lot of different things and meet a lot of different people too. How do you offline program? Do you have a hardware on your program with the 3D from MA3? And yeah, I only program with on PC. Most of the time, I don't use 3D. Because I know like when I have a dimmer 100%, that means that my lights are on. I know they have their own team, but did you once do Pony Club in Toulouse? Yes. I worked in Toulouse on Hope Festival, 3 years. It was fun. And 1 year I did it with What the Flow. That's a lot of talking, guys. Guys, do you have still question? If not, like I'm going to be slowly done because I'm talking a lot. And I spend the whole afternoon in meetings. So I'm like talking since like 2 a.m., 2 p.m. and like I feel my voice going out. So guys, if you still have questions, let's ask the last ones. And I wanted to thank you all to show up. Super happy to do that. Feel free to send me a message like on Instagram or whatever, what we can do better about the show. Like Aztec, I know you want better lights. So I'm going to try to do this. And I will try to come back with like a more solid subject next time, like probably a small Resolute masterclass or something. So I have something to show you because I can really feel how you guys want to see a little bit what's going on behind the desk and in the computers. You're not interested about buy your lyre and rent in parallel? Nah, I don't want to go into a rental company. I like to play. The one of the main thing, like a lot of people are shocked by that. Like I am not passionate about hardware and fixtures and stuff. I really like to play. I like to exchange with people. I like to play. So if I can play every day, I'm happy. And I don't want to start to handle like storing and renting and doing a lot of administrative stuff, do a lot of financial to get the money for the stuff. Nah, I'm not into that. I work with very big companies, talented people for that. Like I'm happy they do the renting for me. Thanks for this live. Thank you so much, guys. Theo, you were one of the first one here, so thank you so much. We will keep it in VOD. I'm gonna have a look if it's good or not. I don't know if I entertain you people very well. Thank you, What the Flow, for being here with me. Always good support. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. We're gonna stop here. I'm done. Like my voice is going out. I'm probably gonna try to set up a live stream next week. We'll put some polls on Instagram to see like what's the best or not. We're gonna also have a look at the recording of this one, trying to do some shorts, some clips or some stuff. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for showing up. It was a real pleasure. Super happy that we did it. Like we are talking about this since like almost 6 months. And I said like in September, like my goal is to go back doing some Twitch live stream and different type of content on platforms and 1 meeting, 2 meetings, 3 meetings. And now like next meeting, I could say, okay, I finally did it. So now what's next? And I'm excited. I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys and really exciting to look at what's going to come next. Thank you so much. Enjoy your night. Bye-bye.